Let's see how to create and use views in StruBIM Steel. The Views panel is located on the left-hand side of the program's general interface. When a new project is created, the program generates a 3D view by default. To add new views, we click on the Create button at the top of the panel. Then, in the window that appears, we select the type of view: floor, reflected ceiling, elevation, section, generic, or 3D view. In this example, we will first create a floor view. After clicking Accept, we must specify the elevation of the work plane where it will be generated. Any element can be snapped on the screen to generate a floor at its height. If we still haven't entered elements in the model, or we simply wish to enter the value of the floor dimension numerically, we just need to click on any empty point in the work area in the 3D view. Next, in the Data of the View window, we edit its characteristics. Here, we type in the reference of the view. Then, we define the elevation level, which specifies the height of the work plane associated to the plan view. This value coincides with the dimension of the element previously snapped on the screen. However, this elevation can be modified or entered manually at this point. When creating a plan view, we are creating a three-dimensional view of the BIM model whose viewing range is limited by two planes parallel to the plane at the elevation level. We can adjust this display range by modifying the values of the distance to the top plane and distance to the bottom plane. Additionally, in the corresponding tab, we can also enter displacements associated with the view together with an identifying reference, which can help us when entering elements later on. By clicking Accept, we finish creating the view. The work area on the right-hand side now shows the newly created view, which will be selected in the Views panel. We can navigate between the different views by simply selecting the desired view with the left mouse button. We can edit, duplicate, and delete views using the corresponding options at the top. We can also show references to other views in the active view. All views, both 2D and 3D, are actually three-dimensional views of the model. To orbit the model from any view, we simultaneously press the Shift key and the central mouse button and move the mouse cursor freely. To return to the original position of the view, we click on the Go to Start Scene button on the top bar of the panel. We can also use the Save the Start Scene button to modify the position of the start scene associated with the view. The creation of elevation and section type views is similar. After selecting the type of view and clicking Accept, we use the left mouse button to indicate 2 points on the line where the work plane will be located, and then the direction and depth of the projection of the view. We can press the Shift key to maintain the orthogonality during the definition of the view. Again, in the Data of the View window, we type in its reference, the distance to the previous plane, and the distance to the next plane, which will define the view range of the elevation or section. After clicking Accept, the created elevation will be displayed in the work area. From here, we can add and edit as many 2D and 3D views of the model as we need. Finally, we can configure the work plane associated with the selected view. The work plane is used as a basis for entering the components of the model and can be viewed by clicking on the Draw Grid option at the top of the screen. From the Define button, we can modify its position. We must specify the type of work plane, either from an existing view, define a plane from 3 points, or select a point and generate a horizontal work plane. In this case, we define the plane freely. After clicking Accept, we use the left mouse button to select 3 points in the space that define the axes of the plane. To orient the selected view on the position of the work plane, we click on the Go to Work Plane option.